Welcome to Speedy Walkthroughs, where we show just the important stuff for beating the game. For first time viewers, this will look different to a normal walkthrough. It shows just the essentials, so you don't need to spend a long time watching this video. Today we're playing Miracle Warriors for the Master System. This game is also known as Haja no Fuin and was released on a few other systems as well. I'll be showing you where to go and what to do, along with all the optional bosses for 100%ing the game. Before we start, if you like this video, consider subscribing to keep up to date. It helps out the channel a whole bunch and there should be a new walkthrough out each week. Also, feel free to leave a comment if you have any other games you'd like me to cover. Now, this game does take a bit of getting used to. Main thing I'll mention is that the graphics on the top left of the screen are completely useless. You're fully just playing with the map on the top right. Once you get used to that, it does get a little bit better and it is a really fun RPG. So if you walk around for a bit, you'll get into battles, and the evil merchant is actually one of the best things to battle. This guy's pretty weak, and you can take him out with just a few attacks, and you get $2,000 for winning the battle there. You'll see sort of two bars next to my character's name. The top bar is EXP, and that goes up every time you hit the enemy. So if you watch the enemy get hit here, it will go up just that little bit, the bar. You've also got various numbers on the right. The guilders is just the cash, so you can see I got 2,000 there. Down the bottom, you'll also see that I got 10 of those C things. That's like your character points. So you want to be killing bad guys to make that number go up, but not killing good guys because that would make the number go down. So for example, if you see merchants or travelers, don't kill them because your character will go way down and that affects other things in the game. The other things on this menu are fangs, which is the second from the bottom there, which we got 0 of. You'll need fangs throughout the game as well. And herbs are the jar items, so they can just heal you, kind of like potions in Pokemon or something. Anyway, we're going to wander around the map here and be trying to kill evil merchants when we can. Speaking of the map, this is pretty much everywhere in the game. We start out here where this one is. Hopefully you can see that in purple there. Basically, what you can be doing is going down to this town, which is 2 there, and stocking up on items. So that's like swords and everything like that. And then eventually, after 2, once you feel like you're strong enough, we're going to head over across these 2 bridges and go to number 3. So 3 is really our first proper destination apart from leveling up and getting more items. I would recommend buying a sword, shield and armor for your main character. Be aware they do wear out, and when we get to number 4 we'll be able to get a blacksmith to come with us and repair them regularly. Also, since EXP happens per hit in this game, not per kill, you're probably better off going for higher defense and weaker attack because that way you're putting out more hits to get more experience points. Anyway, when we cut back to the game, I'll be going to number 3 here, so try and make your way across there. So just trying to work your way to the left up from the starting point. We might have a few other fights with things like evil merchants. Working your way left across these bridges. There are better enemies to attack later, and I'll talk about those as they come up. But for now, if you can get evil merchants, that's really good. Otherwise, as long as the enemy's weak and it's not making that C go down, the one that says 40 right now, then you should be okay. Alright, so just getting into a few of these fights here. Across the 2 bridges. Now, this is the other enemy I wanted to talk about, the Lyphant. You may be too weak to kill these at the moment, but they have a really good item that they can drop at the end. So basically, if I skip to the end of the fight here, they can drop this thing called a sacred nut. So there we go. Sometimes it comes up with that message, sometimes it doesn't. It's just purely randomness. You get 3 of these every time you kill a Lyphant if it does drop them. You can hold up to a maximum of 11. So if you just beat 4 of these Lyphant enemies, you won't get 12. But if you use 1 of the nuts, then you can get up to 11. Otherwise, you capped at sort of 9 otherwise. These nut items are fantastic. Basically, they're stronger than your normal attack, and also they stop the enemy from attacking for that turn. So for example, I've got this guy who can give us a lot of fangs, and by using the nuts, you can actually kill them very quickly. So here's just a summary of some good enemies to be looking out for. I've talked about 3 of these already. The Rock Sage is the one I was just fighting. It's 80 fangs. A bit further south in the forest, you can fight Cockins for good money. Anyway, coming back to the map, we're just about to get to number 3 here. Alright, so just coming out of the battle with this guy to get 80 fangs. Once we're done that, basically go up into this town looking thing and you'll get the spells. We need the spells to pick up our other party members, and now we're going to head back south. Great lines are also good for a bit of extra gold if you want. Alright, so back to the map. We're coming out of number 3 and we're going to travel down and across this bridge. We're going to go to number 4 there. This is a town and you should try and have about 27,000 gold before you get here. I will also mention in this game, when we get our next party member, which is very soon, they'll come in at one level lower than our current level. So it's actually a good strategy to level up quite a bit at the start of the game, knowing that those levels are going to apply to any new party members we pick up. So anyway, heading into number 4 here. So just heading south from that place we were just in. You'll probably come across a few fights while you're there, but there's the town there. We're going to head straight in and go up to this house here. We're picking up a mask here. The masks let you see in caves. You pretty much absolutely need this. Technically, you can get away without it, but it's really tricky. I'm going to go up here and talk to this guy. This is a blacksmith, and he'll repair our weapons as we use them, and it saves you going into the town to repair them over and over. So pick up those 2 things. I'm also going to go here and heal myself, and you can pick up any herbs if you want. When you've done that, go to the right here, and there's a cave that we're going to go to. So coming back to the map, we're just coming out of town number 4 here. We're pretty much going to go to the right here down over to number 6. 6 is a cave. It's got 100 fangs in it, which is really good because pretty soon we're going to need 300 fangs for an item. Alright, coming into the cave here, you can see just on the top right there's still a map, but it's kind of hard to see. Alright, so this is called the Duelist Cavern. You can see that we're starting on the staircase, which is in the bottom left of the map I have up on screen. We're going to go up and around down to that chest that has the helm in it. I'm pretty sure you don't even need the helm. I'm just getting it as part of 100%. So we're just going to dip left around here and go all the way down to that helm. I will speed up the footage a bit. The helm lets you read writing on wall, so we're actually going to go up to that writing on the wall just to read it. Again, you probably don't need to do this if you don't want. But the real big reason we're in here is this chest with the fangs in it. So there's the 100 fangs on the top left of the map. And you can see that we've got exactly 300 fangs now, which is really good because we'll need that in a second to get a weapon upgrade. On my way out from the cave, I'm going to fight more Liphants in this forest because we want lots of sacred nuts. Remember, you can hold up to 11 of them. But let's say you already had 10, it won't give you 3 more to get up to 11. You have to have 8 before you get up to 11. Make sure you have 11 sacred nuts before you fight like any boss in this game. That's super useful. Anyway, we've just come out of number 6. That was that cave we're in. You're literally just heading straight across to number 5. This is the castle. It gives you a weapon upgrade for your main character, and you need 300 fangs for that. Alright, so just heading to the left here into this castle, we paid 300 fangs for the weapon upgrade. So you can buy weapons and armors and shields in the towns, but each character will have a sword, an armor, and a shield unlockable, which is better than the ones you can buy. So now we've got the best weapon for our main character. We can also upgrade this. So coming back to the map, we're in number 5. If you do want to upgrade your weapons, it's all the way across these 2 bridges here to number 9. This guy will upgrade your weapons, but it costs like 60,000 gold, and also you need a lot of character points before he'll even talk to you. I think it's like 1,500 character points or something. So probably not able to upgrade your weapons now, but just keep that in mind for something you can do if you have the spare gold. Alright, now that we've got that weapon upgrade, you're really going to be starting pretty much just a big grind. Remember that the next character will come in 1 level under our level, so it's good if we can level up as much as possible. I'm just going to head up and left into this forest. This has got that Cockin enemy that I was talking about. It gives you 6,000 gold every time you beat one and some fangs, so it's pretty good to have. I'm just going to fast forward through the grind, but you can see here it's pretty much Cockins and evil merchants that I'm killing. Obviously the enemies are random what you get, but these are the ones you're looking out for really good ones to kill. Go back and fight Liphants as well. They'll give you more sacred nuts. And for example here, that's what I'm doing. So stock up on nuts, go and kill a bunch of Cockins, stock up on nuts again, rinse and repeat. Okay. Alright, so coming back to the map, we've sort of just come out of number 5 when we got that weapon upgrade. And the grind that I was showing you there was sort of all around this area near number 4. You can fight Cockins in this forest here, and then you can get Liphants in the forest just over to the right there. So there's sort of 2 different sets of enemies in each one. Next thing that we're going to do is go left across these 2 bridges and then sort of up towards boss 1. Make sure you have 11 nuts before you do this, because this boss can be pretty difficult. Make sure you've also bought armor and shield from this, ready for this boss as well. Technically we can get the other character before we fight boss number 1, except we want to fight this boss with our main character so that we level up so the other character comes in at a higher level. Alright, so that's sort of what I'm doing here, just going left across these two bridges and then up through here. This is sort of near where you can upgrade your weapon if you want to do that, but this is the boss here. So we're going to be using a combination of our own attacks and Sacred Nuts. So remember, Sacred Nuts will stop it from attacking, so it's probably a good idea to use all the nuts right away and then start attacking it and hope that you don't die. It is a very tricky boss, so stick with it. You should probably be at a bit of a higher level than I am there as well. But there we go. You get an armor from beating that boss. The armor we actually do have to get. It's required for beating the game. So I'm going to go there and heal and buy some herbs, and then I'm going to continue the grind here. We'll need some more fangs soon, so that's why I'm fighting these enemies. They give you 80 fangs each, which is really good. You might also notice after beating the boss, your charm points went down. Unfortunately, that is a side effect of beating bosses in this game. Now we are just about to unlock our next character. What I'd recommend is that if you're near a level up, you fight enemies until you level up there. You can see I'm just about to level up here, so I'm going to hit that level and then go and get the new character. Now if we come back to the map here, we've just come out of boss 1 and I've gone back across these two bridges. I'm sort of doing the grind again around this area that I was talking about before. This is a really good spot. When you're ready to get the new character, we're going to head down here to number 7. That's where the character is. Alright, so I'm heading down here. You want to go left when you come in here, and you want to use spell on this one. So if we go to spell, you'll have a few options. We want Awake Giant, and this is going to be our party member. So there's just another person in our party. You can attack with them instead of your main character if you want. Whoever does the attack is usually the person who gets hit by the attack. You'll notice that I've headed up here to this castle, and that's to get this guy's weapon. So just so you can see it on the map, we were in number 7. We're heading up and across the bridge there into number 8. You need 300 fangs to get this weapon. Alright, so talk to the guy who'll take away 300 fangs, and now we've got Guy's weapon as well. Alright, coming to the map, we're just coming out of number 8. A reminder that you can upgrade your weapons in number 9 as well, so do that if you've got a spare 60,000 gold lying around. If not, head across this bridge. You want to go down through boss 2, and we're trying to get to number 13 where we're going to get a boat. Alright, so coming out of this castle, we just head straight down towards number 13. There is a boss on the way, it's a skeleton. You want to use Guy's weapon against this skeleton. You can just see how much damage that's going to be doing per attack compared to your main character, which doesn't do much damage at all. So Guy's attack is the key to winning this fight. Once you've done that, head down here and you'll get the boat. Alright, coming back to the map now. So number 13 is where we got the boat from. We can now go across water. There is some good stuff in number 16 if you want it. I'm not going to do that in the footage. What I'm going to do is go straight down to number 15, and we're going to unlock our third character here in number 15. Be aware, if you can't unlock the character, it's because you haven't done boss number 1 up the top. So you absolutely have to beat that boss up the top. So here, straight from where we got the boat, all across the water down to number 15. So that's this town here. I'm going to go down into this house here, the blue one, and then use the same spell, Awake Giant. That'll get our third party member. Now that we've got her, she is the best character. So level her up over everyone else as much as you can. Just going to buy her like sword, armor, and shield. Well, not sword actually. Scratch that. Just armor and shield. She's the only character which can do critical hits, so that's very important for us. Alright, just coming back to the map here. We've been in number 15 to get Medi. We're going to head across these mountain ranges through to number 17. This will be Medi's weapon, and this will take 300 fangs to get, so make sure you got those. Alright, so just heading to the left across here, going all the way towards that castle. There it is. So we pay the 300 fangs and we get the weapon. Alright, coming back to the map here, we've just come out of number 17. I'm going to do 3 bosses in a row. So straight up here to boss number 3, there it is. And then we're going to go across to boss number 4, and then down to boss number 5. So make sure you hit those. Doesn't matter if it's in that order, but 1, 2, and 3. And that's what we'll be doing for the next bit of the game. So yeah, coming out of this castle right and up to get to that first boss that I showed you. What I'm doing is just heading up a little bit first. So I'm stocking up on Sacred Nuts to take care of these bosses. Anyway, once you think you've got enough of those, you just want to head down to that boss. So this is right next to where we got the ship for the first time. So it's another one of these. So very tricky and long fight, but you just get through that. Then as we showed on the map before, you just want to head right out of this boss. By the way, each boss just gets you a new like shield or armor or something. Make sure everyone's healed up before you go in, and you got more nuts as well. So we take care of this boss. There it is. And then we're going to go down right to this boss. Now before we do this boss, I'll show you one other thing you can get. So back to the master, I showed you the bosses. Basically we've done those first two now. We're about to do boss number 5. Just above this though is number 19. That can give you something called a Stone of Protection, which stops the boss from using magic. So you can try and get one of those first if you're having trouble. Once you're in this boss, just work your way through this fight. It is a pretty long one, so watch out. Can use like sleeping spells and stuff on you as well. There we go. And we're going to head up after this boss. So coming back to the map, we've just come out of boss number 5. You're going to head up, straight up to number 20. That's where we're going to get our 4th character. I will mention that you can stop at 19 again to get another Stone of Protection. You can also stop at 16 again to get some of those Staff of Earthquakes. Alright, so heading straight up after this boss. Same thing as the other characters, we've got to use the spell again. Alright, after we got this character in number 20, you're just heading straight up to number 21. With all the other characters, you have to beat bosses to get all their armors and stuff, but all this guy's material is just there in number 21. So yep, just heading out from where we unlocked him. If you go there to number 21, you use a spell, you want to say Trio has come, and then you get to go into this dungeon. Alright, so we start in the top right on that staircase. You just basically want to grab all the items from this shrine. So I'm going up here to grab the sword first. I will grab the nut as well. Down here to grab the armor and the shield too. There we go. Once you got all those items, you can just head on the staircase to get out. So now Trio is pretty much fully equipped without having to do any boss fights or anything. Alright, looking back at the map, we've just come out of number 21. You can heal up in town number 2 there if you want to. Then we want to go straight to boss number 6 here. That's the next location there. Boss number 6 and 7 are optional, but they are good to do because you'll get armor and stuff. I will mention as well, any of these forest areas, so the one around number 5, number 6, or the one around number 2, they all have life-ins there in case you want to stock up on nuts again. So you can see here, just coming out of that cave, I'm going to go straight into the town and heal there. Make sure you got herbs as well. Going to the left here, we're going to be stocking up on some nuts. And then once we've done that, just to the left a little bit more, boss number 6. There we go, straight in. It's another one of these guys. Once you're done with boss number 6, you're just going to head straight to the left up to number 22 to get a new ship. Do remember that number 9 can upgrade your swords and stuff. It costs 60,000 gold to do that, so that might be a good point to do it now. We're near the end of the game as well. Alright, so straight out of the boss, all the way left to that place where the ship is. I'm just going to go into this town and heal up on the way. Keeping on going to the left, get some more nuts if you want on the way as well. And then all the way to the left, up past the desert, grabbing that new ship. You don't really need anything to get that ship, just grab it. And we're going to go straight bottom right into this other boss area. Now if you want to focus on it in the map, we just came out of number 22 because we got the ship. We're just going straight into boss number 7, which is right next door. This boss is another one of these guys, so work your way through the fight and then we should be done. Alright, coming out of boss number 7, we're going to head south. So we can cross the dark water now that we've got ships. In this water, you can fight these things called sea dragons, and they can drop potions of resurrections. They can heal you in a battle, so watch out for that. They don't heal you if you die, but you just got to use them when you're low on health. Also, what I'll mention, number 24 sells this white orb item, which is really powerful, but it costs 1,000 fangs, so I'm not going to get it in the footage. But what we're going to do is, next actual point we have to go to is number 26 down here. It won't show up as a thing on the map. Just go to that square and then you should be in the right spot. Just press the 2 button to go inside. Alright, so straight from that boss fight, all the way south. Fight the sea dragons if you want, buy the white orb if you want, and head down here. The square should look kind of like this, sand square. Press the 2 button and you can head in. You got to use the spell Eazon as come. Sorry, come Eazon is the spell. Alright, this is called Rockod Cavern, so we're going to head in there and go down and left to that Key of Heaven chest. That chest is a boss fight, so watch out. Make sure you're all healed up and everything. So here's the chest. I'm just healing everyone up before we go and click on the chest. And there's a boss. It's protecting the item in the chest. Alright, towards the end of the boss fight, we'll get that item, and then we're going to head back out of the cave the way we came, so back up to the top right where the stairs are. Alright, so on the map we've just come out of number 26. You're heading to the left here, number 27. Again, that tile won't show as a thing on the map, but if you press the 2 button you can go in there now. Alright, so back into the game, just going left and then clicking the 2 button there. Same spell, it's come Eazon. Alright, now this cave here, you got to head up towards the Key of Earth. Again, this is another boss fight that you're going to have on this chest. So there it is, healing everyone up, getting into the boss fight, working your way through that. And then once we've done that, heading back out of the cave. So back out the way we came. There we are. Alright, back onto the map, we've just come out of 27. You want to head up there to number 28. And when you're ready, just hit the 2 button to enter that. So showing here in game, just heading up, pressing that 2 button. Come Eazon is the spell. Alright, this one's called the Ohod Cavern, so we're going to head up from the staircase here. All the way up there to the Key of Hell. And then that's going to be another boss fight. So we'll take care of this guy. And when you're ready, coming out the same way we came. Alright, back to the map. We've just come out of number 28. We want to go just left to number 29, and that's going to be the final dungeon of the game. Make sure you're all healed up. You got all the items you want. Remember, you can buy that white orb at number 24 if you'd like to as well. Alright, so coming into this cave, you got to use that same spell. I'm going to head down right for the Stone of Protection there. So that's this chest here. And then we go up left on that staircase that says to sub-level 2. Of course, I'm just healing up as well, make sure everyone's okay for the final boss fight. So down this staircase now. Alright, here's the second level. It can be a little bit confusing. We are on the top left and we're heading to the bottom right. So just on that top left there, heading down and right. As long as you go down to the very bottom right of the map and take that ladder, you're fine. Alright, next sub-level here. We come out on the ladder on the bottom right and we're going to go up to the top left for that final boss area. Grab the herbs as well if you want. Now with this boss, pretty much what you want to do is use all the sacred nuts, all the staff of earthquakes if you've got any, and that white orb if you've got it. But eventually after a very long fight, we should be able to get through it. So it's going to take you ages, very long boss, but we can do this. Alright, with that, that'll be this boss done, and that's the game done. So you'll get the lovely ending. I hope you found this useful. And that'll be it for this video. Thanks so much for watching.